Hey guys, good morning. Here is Ben with Bella Development. Today we're going to talk about 10 tips of how to hire a contractor. My tip number one is go with your gut. It is very important to decide who you're going to go with your feelings. I believe you're going to interview somewhere between 3 to 5 contractors with every job. You need to find someone that make you feel comfortable, someone that you know that if you're going to go to any kind of misunderstanding or maybe an argument, you can find common sense and not make a big deal out of it and move on. This is my biggest tip of all, and I keep telling people always, please try to go with your gut and don't think always just about the money. I know sometimes a few $1,000s look like a lot of money, but going with contractor that actually feel you and know what you need and can take care of you when need is much more important than the little money that you're going to save. Tip number two is make sure your contractor is licensed, insured, bonded, and hopefully having also workers' comp. Houses are expensive, construction is expensive, and you want to know that if God forbid something is happening, you're covered, and this is out of your mind. I wouldn't risk it, not for the little smallest job. In case something happened, you can go into lawsuits that are millions of dollars and it's just not worth it, and it's just a risk not worth taking. Tip number three is have a contract in details which explains everything from the scope of work to the specification, if there are any plans, warranty. And why is it so important? It's so important because you want to know that you get exactly what you signed for, and you can kind of follow and understand the agreement as the job process goes, and also to know if you're going to a 2 months project or to 6 months project. These are things that needs to be written on the agreement. Tip number four is find out who is performing the work. Why is it important? Every construction company work a little bit different, and you want to know who is going to be performing the work. You want to know who is your point of contact. You want to know who is the foreman, and sometimes you also want to know what are the name of the guys that actually performing the work. It's not a big deal, just ask. I think it's important to know. It will make you feel more confident about the project and maybe also your contractor. Tip number five is give your contractor guidelines if there are any. Some people have babies, pets, whatever. As a contractor, I've experienced it many times, especially with dogs and cats. Just be on the same page with your contractor and ask him if there is anything specific that you want him to not do or do. Tip number six, know what your responsibilities are. There are many finished materials that usually the client needs to purchase. You want to make sure that you are communicating with your contractor in order to push things forward. If there are more things that your contractor is asking you to take responsibility for, you guys should talk about it. But this is very important that from the first step you know who is taking care of what and running things fast, so you're not wasting any time. Tip number seven is look at some work samples and references. You are again going to invest a lot of money. You want to go see the product that your contractor can deliver. I think nothing is better than going to the job site and actually talk to previous clients and see previous jobs. That will give you a good sense of what you're dealing with, and not just I can talk really highly about myself, but it doesn't talk for who I actually am. Tip number eight, think locally. It's very important to work with someone that is local. If your contractor is 2 hours away from where you live, it's gonna be very hard for him to operate the job. I keep telling it to people, usually they don't listen. please try to go local. It will make your life easier. If your contractor is from Los Angeles and you live in Santa Barbara, it's going to be hard for him to operate the job. Trust me. Tip number 9, and it's more something to be more cautious about. People and contractors can promise you really nice times that are very, very, very unreasonable and unrealistic. If you met with 5 contractors and 4 out of the 5 are telling you that this is an over 6 months job and only one telling you that this is a 3-month job, he's probably wrong. And we all want to hear the best things and want to believe in the best things. They're usually not right, so stay away from these. Tip number 10 and the last, overpromising pricing. Same idea. If you met with 5 contractors and 4 out of the 5 are giving you over $100,000 and one angel come and gives you this is a 60 to 70, red lights. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but really check very well and make sure that this guy know what he's talking about. Usually most contractors are about the same markups, and a lot of people just trying to get themselves into the job and then they will upsell you, so stay away from these. Thank you guys. These were the 10 best contractor tips of how to choose a contractor. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.